Hi there, it's Tracy here from the Papercraft Studio. Thank you for joining me today. So I'm going to show you how to make this flowering tulips birthday card. So it's using this suite here, which is called Flowering Fields, and it's these dies up here that I've used. I haven't used the stamps, just the dies, and then these gorgeous papers here. And it's the one on the back of this one here, which is gorgeous. So you get this little kind of rich raspberry area in both corners. So I've used both bits of this when I've created my class kits, so that everyone gets to get this little effect. Can you see that there, the little bit of rich raspberry against the rest of the color here on the card? So let me go ahead and show you the supplies you need. So you need a piece of thick basic white cardstock. So this measures 11.5 by 4 1/8, and it's scored at 5 3/4. You need a piece of rich raspberry cardstock, which measures 4 3/4 by 2 inches. A piece of basic white cardstock that measures 4.5 inches by 1 3/4. Another small piece here for the label that measures 2 3/4 by 1/2 inch. And then you need another piece about 5 inches long, maybe not quite as long as that, to do this border piece here, and that's using one of the dies. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you how to create this. I don't know if you can see very well in this light, but I've added a little bit of balmy blue in the background on this piece and just behind these butterflies, just to give a little kind of sky impression there. So I'll show you how I did that too. I'm going to start by showing you how to make the flowers, and which dies I've used. The dies, when they come, you can make 3 different shaped flowers. I just wanted to make these two, so the bud and the poppy. So I'm using these 5 dies here. Okay, so I did a little sheet here for my class. Let me see if I can find it, just to show you which pieces we're using, and I've used different colors here just to make it a bit easier to see. So you'll be able to see these are the dies here. So for this flower you need 3 pieces. So this kind of one with the bendy bit there, the V shape, and the bud. And for this one down here you just need, oops, that's upside down there, there we go, that piece, and then the little bud is inside there. Okay, so you actually get 2 of these dies to cut the buds at the same time. So that's just to show you in a bit of a brighter color which ones I've used. So I've gone ahead and cut these just to save a little bit of time for the video. Like I said, we've got these 3 pieces make this flower, those 3, and these 2 make this one here. Actually, I might just swap those over because that's a bit darker, that one. Okay, so to put these together, I don't know if you'll see very well on the video, you can just about see there, I think there's a score line here. So you're just going to gently bend on that score line, and that creates this part at the front here. And then what's going to happen is this one slides in, and this one, you see at the top here, it's kind of got a bobbly, let's put it down here. So up here it's kind of more wiggly, the outline, than down here. That's the top. So that's then going to slide in here. So you can move it around to have it however you like it to look. Once you have got it in position how you like it, I would flip it, let's see, open it up, no, flip it over, hold it in place, flip it over, and then work from the back, so that it all stays where you want it to be, because really this little bud kind of needs to slot in after, but if you work backwards on it, it's quite a good way to put it together. So glue dot or glue, got one stuck to that already. So I'm just going to show you with glue dots here for speed, and it does hold it just fine. So glue dot on the back of the bud there, and that will just fold over and pick that one up. So that's where you want it to be. And then again on this one, another glue dot. You can of course build it from the front, but this just, once you've got it in the position you want it to be, this is just a really good way to keep it in place. Now we've got this one at the front, we can do what we like with this. And you can, if you want to, pop a little dimensional under this piece here. Is that what I did here? Yeah, I did. So a mini dimensional, or you can just stick it flat, whichever you want to do. So just I'll put it just here, and that will just come back over. This piece moves a little bit, so you need to just pop it in place there. And I've just left this one free without any adhesive. So that's your first flower. So it's just really nice, the different shades of the paper that you get. On the bud, there are 2 score lines, one here and one over here. So just fold those gently as well. And you can cut these with cardstock as well. It doesn't have to be the papers. So when you cut them, when you fold them, sorry, you want this little piece to be on the left and this on the right. So you can see the paper underneath, but again, it's this sort of wibbly bit. That's not even a word really, is it? Can you see there's a little sort of curve at the top, and that's the top, even though it might look like it should go up the other way. And then also with this bit has a little wibbly bit, that's my technical term, and that's going to go at the top as well. So you want to have a look to see how far out. Really doesn't want to poke out too far, that top bit, and you will see a bit of the paper underneath, but that's fine. So just once you have that, I might push it in even a little bit more. Once you have it in place, this one's a bit easier because there's only two kind of layers to stick together. So once you've got it where you want it, oh, and she's moved it, hold it there, pop a glue dot on the back. I should probably just line that up again actually. So you have to open it up to get the bud in, but it really just about pokes over the top there. That might be too high. Sorry, it's a bit fiddly to show you what I'm doing here. Let's come down a little bit. Perfect, that's fine for me, I think. So you see it's only really poking out a tiny bit over the top. And then I wasn't sure which way to fold this, but in the catalogue they have the bigger piece folding in first and then this smaller piece. On here I did it with a dimensional, but it makes it a bit more tricky to fold, so I might just pop these down with glue dots. On this little piece here, you need to stretch a glue dot along, or of course if you're using glue, that's fine. And that's actually going to be the second bit that sticks down. And then on this piece, a glue dot on this side. So fold the bigger piece in first, and then fold that one over, and you get your little bud. So they're really cute. Okay, so then we're going to work on this piece here with our little bit of colour behind. So I'm using Balmy Blue ink, and with this I always find it best to build up. So either have a bit of scrap paper or use your grid here. Tap on here. I'm just going to use a bit of cardstock because I don't want to mess my grid up too much. Tap away, get rid of some, and then just really lightly brush the colour on here. So you can barely see it to start with, but otherwise if you go straight on you'll get a bit of a splodge. So take a little bit off and then brush really lightly and just build up from there. And you'll think, especially with Balmy Blue, it takes a while to show, but it's worth it just building it up gradually. Otherwise you do get quite a lot of colour in maybe a place that you don't want it to be. I only wanted a really subtle background anyway, just to kind of take the glare off of the white. Okay, so there we go. And then I'm also going to do a little on the card base. And like I said, I've just done a little strip where the butterflies are, kind of that kind of section there. So I'm just going to take a rough guess as to where that's going to be on here. It'll probably end up different to my first one, but that's fine. All unique. I just wanted it to be really subtle. Okay, so I'm going to pop that away. And then put the ink away. Then we can start to layer up here. So we're going to attach the basic white layer onto the rich raspberry. So just with liquid glue, that will be fine. Whoops, this one hasn't been used for a while. Now it's all coming out in a big mess. We can just spread it around. Okay, so I've done this so that obviously we get the little border all the way around. That looks about right. Oops. And then you can either build your flower onto here, or you can work, you know, you can put this onto the card first, whichever way works for you. So I think I'll stick this one down. So again, just with glue. And what I did, I just left a pretty even border around these three sides. Okay, you can't actually see it at the bottom there, but that's where it is. See if you have a preference which way up it goes. I don't really here. So like I say, roughly the same on those three. And then with the other pieces, I've cut the two leaves, and with the stems, I did two of the same shape stems. You do get a thicker one as well. One of them you won't need to be so long necessarily, but I cut them with the adhesive backing on because it's quite fiddly to get glue along there. So have a little play around and see how you'd like them to line up. And then obviously as well, at some point we're going to put this border on as well. So, oops, this one's jumping around. It's not really playing ball. So I didn't want the bud to go as high. And I might just turn that one upside down so it's kind of going the other way. I don't mind them crossing at the bottom because, you know, we're probably not going to see that, to be honest. And I'm going to trim that piece off at the bottom that overhangs. So have a little play around to see how you want them to feature and how you want them to line up together. That looks fine to me. So then you want to, you could mark with a pencil actually where you want the top to be. Oops, just stretching for a pencil. Or you could just, you know, remember roughly, but I'm just going to put a little pencil mark where I want those to go, just so that I don't have to kind of line it all up again. And then it can be a bit fiddly just getting this backing off, but you just need to pull the end slightly. Here we go, it's starting to go. And take the white piece off. So I know with this piece I wanted it about there. I'll just cover that pencil mark coming down. When you do this piece, obviously if you're going to cut the end, you might want to not pull the backing all the way down in case it just sticks and you can't get it back up. So I'm going to pull it most of the way down and then just position it where I want it to be on the card. So out there. And then actually before I pull the rest of it off, I'm just going to, if I can see my snips here, just cut the end of that off. Oops. Like that. Okay, so then I can pull the rest of this down, and that's where I want my stems to be. Now I had a bit of a thing. I would have naturally put the leaves up the other way, but when I looked at how tulips go, this is the way the leaves go apparently. So I was happy to follow suit and just put them in place. So you can see again how that's going to go together, and they do kind of come up around the stem a little bit, but obviously you pop them on how you want. These two I put on with a dimensional behind. So let's go ahead and attach these about there. I just liked it coming just out of the panel. And then this one, I want a little bit lower. I might move that one up a bit actually. With dimensionals you do kind of have a little chance to move if you're careful. Ooh, that you don't rip the paper. which I think I might be doing under here. So, you know, this is going to get hidden. That's fine. That's it. I just wanted it to be a little bit higher. Okay, then these two I stuck on with glue, and you can, you know, do it in whichever order you want them to be. Okay, so I have that one there, and then this bigger one on the other side. Oops, I think it's going to splurge out. Okay, so about here. Whoops, that's moving a little bit. And then this is really pretty, this this piece here that you can cut. There's a longer strip in the dies. Here we go. So I've got some of these out for my class, but this is quite a long strip here. So you can see we've only cut a section of it, but I started at this end here. I lined it up on the cardstock with this piece right at the end. And then you can, was it that end? Yes. And then you can just trim it to however long, but this is about 5 inches for now. Just to show you how I cut that piece. Okay, so what I would suggest you do here with the piece you've cut, line it up with the bottom of this border here, and this edge on the right will go in line with this side of the card. Okay, so over that way, don't go too far over because you'll come off the edge. And then once you're sticking this down, you can snip off here where you want it to finish, and I would probably take out that other little flower there as well. So I'm just going to get rid of that one now. You can do it after if you want, and I would just say just follow the, where did I cut? Follow this little outline round a little bit, so you're sort of following the rest of the design of that flower. Line it up again right to the edge of the card. Am I at the edge there? Yeah. And then I'm just going to snip it here. And then I'm just going to put glue along this strip here at the bottom. Ooh. I keep forgetting this is quite full. It's good if you store your glues upside down so that it's ready to go, but equally it can come out quite fast. Okay, flip this one over. Like I say, line it up with the base of that panel and slide it along to where to the edge of either edge of the card, and these will pop up a little bit, but I quite like that. Okay, so I'm going to use this punch here, and there's several punches, label punches here. I'm using Treasured Tags Pick a Punch, so you can do 3 different sizes of each of these designs, and there's 3 different punches. There's a banner one here. So yeah, this one here. So I've cut it so that it slides into this groove here at the bottom, so it's 1/2 inch. So slide it all the way to the back. Oops, open it up. Okay, so make sure you're hitting the back. Give it a punch. Slide it back out and do the same on the sorry, on the other end. Again, make sure it slides back. Whoops, mine came out of the groove there for a sec. Okay, so right to the back again, give it a punch, and then slide that one back out. So it's a really nice way to get some different size labels here. You can see the different widths here, so it's a handy one to have. And then, like I say, we're going to stamp in Memento ink, black Memento. Just want to make sure I've inked it up enough. That looks fine, hopefully. And then without getting my head in the camera, I don't know if this is going to be very straight, but it's not too bad. Here we go. Okay, so put that to one side. And then Memento ink just takes a couple of seconds longer to dry than our other coloured inks. So just leave that there for a second, and then we're going to use a sponge dauber and Highland Heather, because that's the colour in the papers here, and we're just going to sponge around the edges. So the way I do that is just dip that in there and then have it at an angle here and just go round and just catch the edges there. So you can go all the way around, and it just adds a little extra to the label. It's not quite so stark. You see there? A little bit of, really easy to see on there actually. Okay, so we're nearly done. Now I've used dimensionals to attach that, but it's handy if you're coming to the end of your dimensionals, just cut the bit of the side off so you don't waste any. So this whole strip here is ideal for going under something like this. Okay, so pull the backing off, and then I just popped that at a bit of an angle. I don't want to hide that leaf actually, so I'm going to have it down a little bit further. Okay, happy with it there. And then finally, I've used these gorgeous new butterflies. These are in the same suite, and they are called brushed brass butterflies. A bit of alliteration there. They're actually really lovely. They've already got the adhesive on the backing, and they feel really quite sturdy. Here we go. So they come in 2 different sizes. So I'm going to pop one of the smaller ones just on my little blue patch here, and then one of the bigger ones just floating slightly lower. And there you have it, my flowering tulip birthday card. I hope you enjoy making it. Take care. See you soon. Bye.